What's up? It's your boy, I Know Mercy the Mad Hatter, here with... it just happened. I didn't know... Spider-Man Far From Home. We already had an idea. Like, we knew what the title was gonna be. We knew that Jake Gyllenhaal was gonna play Mysterio, and that's all fine and good, but actually seeing it, it's... Fuck! Okay, so, the trailer I was always curious about the title Far From Home. Like, what was that gonna be? Was it gonna be, Peter, working with the Avengers? Was it gonna have something to do with Infinity War, like he's stuck in space or something? But no, it's a relatively, normal story. Peter is going on a class trip to Europe. I think he's in Italy, I believe. So he's going to Europe. He's the fucking god. I can't believe I forgot, but the river that runs through Rome. I can't believe I forgot what the fuck that's called. But he's on that. He's with his friends. He's with Ned and Flash is still there for some reason, and MJ is there. And they're kind of starting a thing between each other. And surprisingly, Ned is with Gwen Stacy. Like, Gwen Stacy is in this, and she's with Ned, not Peter, which is... Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, okay. And I think... I want to point out that I think the Spider-Man movies so far, the two we've seen so far, have kind of gone the farthest with reinterpreting certain characters. Like the big reveal at the end of, well, not the big reveal, but a significant reveal at the end of Homecoming was that Michelle, the dour, sort of, I wouldn't say misanthropic, but that kind of girl, the one with the messy hair and the baggy clothes and everything like that, that she is actually MJ, but it's Michelle Jones, not Mary Jane. And that was a big thing. Like, this is, for all intents and purposes, Zendaya, I think that's her name? Maybe? I don't fucking know. She is Mary Jane. She's just not called... She is, for all intents and purposes, Mary Jane. She's referred to as MJ. It's clear that's where they're going with her. And that's who she's supposed to be in this context. They just kind of did it in a weird way to make everyone kind of surprised. Which is weird, because the rumors was that this Zendaya girl was playing Mary Jane, so it wasn't even that big of a surprise. I don't know. I think the dude who directed, the people who wrote and directed who directed Homecoming kind of were working from a place of pre-internet saturation. So, the news that Zendaya was going to be playing Mary Jane was fucking everywhere, but they couldn't really do anything about it, but they still kind of wanted it to be a surprise that, oh, hey, this black girl is actually Mary Jane. It's weird. And of course, Ned Leeds is actually a fairly well-known character in the Spider-Man mythos. I can't remember exactly what he was. I'm gonna come back to this and explain that, but Ned Leeds was in fact a co-worker of Peter Parker's at the Daily Bugle, and he was also brainwashed into being the third Hobgoblin. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen in this series. But Ned Leeds was a big part of the Spider-Man mythos, but he wasn't a classmate. I think they kind of combined Ned with Miles's friend from his school, which is weird, but I kind of get it. But it's weird, but I kind of get it. It's like that. And of course, Vulture's backstory is completely different. He's Liz Allen's father now, which is Liz and Vulture had nothing to do with each other. But yeah, that was a thing, and they're kind of keep going with that. in this one because we already knew that Jake Gyllenhaal was going to play Mysterio, but there's also 4 other villains in this, and it's kind of fucking brilliant what they're doing with it, because I never truly really put it together. Like it's been in my head that these characters exist, but I never put it together that Spider-Man has villains that correspond with the 4 fucking elements. I've never really put that together before. Like, you have Sandman, you have Molten Man, you have Hydro Man, and you have Electro. Technically, Electro isn't. It's like it is like it's weather, but it's not wind. So I think that's why I never really put it. But still, like that's kind of the point here. Like, because you see all 4 of them in this. You see Electro attacking London Bridge. You see Sandman attacking soldiers some fucking where. I don't know really where it was. You see Hydro Man, and you even see Molten Man. And Molten Man is a really fucking obscure Spider-Man character. Not a lot of people use him, but no, they're putting him in this. And Mysterio actually shows up, and he's fighting Hydro Man, which is kind of surprising. But then you realize, you remember that Mysterio is a fucking con man who uses special effects to do all of his crimes. So, I think the prevailing theory so far is that Mysterio actually makes those 4. Like they're something, like they aren't magic or anything like that. Like when they're watching the news of Mysterio fighting Hydro Man, one of Peter's classmates say that he's like Thor and Iron Man mashed together, and I think that is what Mysterio is trying to go for, like a guy in a suit of armor who uses magic instead of technology. But like I said, it's Mysterio. He's a con man. These are all special effects. I don't know how he's doing it, and I think that's going to be the big mystery here. I would honestly actually be a little surprised and would kind of be on board with if it's revealed that Mysterio's powers are real. Like, they are real magic. Like, he actually learned this shit. Because we do know, thanks to Doctor Strange and thanks to Thor, that magic is a real thing. It's a skill you can learn. It's a thing you can use that exists in this universe. So, like, I'm not saying that Mysterio is from Kamar-Taj or anything like that, or that he has anything to do with Doctor Strange. Although if Peter actually does, like, he met him in Infinity War, so I would not actually be surprised if after Infinity War, like after he was brought back, because let's face it, you all know that he was coming back. Like, the snap wasn't going to be serious. Like, that's another thing. I was like, people were saying, why can't you just pretend that the end of Infinity War was going to stay? Like, no. Like, everyone knows that all the deaths caused by the snap are going to get reversed. Like, that's just how the story is. So it would be interesting if after Endgame, I should say, that after Endgame, Doctor Strange actually gave Peter like a way of contacting him in case anything weird happened, because they're in the same city, and Doctor Strange can't be everywhere, and Peter might find some weird mystical shit while he's swinging around being Spider-Man. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if in this there's a very brief cameo from Doctor Strange. Like, Peter contacts Doctor Strange somehow, tells him about Mysterio, and he can either confirm or deny that he is an actual wizard, and like he's actually doing mystical stuff. And like, I don't know. I think there's a lot interesting that you can do with Mysterio in this, and it's fucking awesome. And the fact that they're using these four iconic villains in this way is really cool. Like, I don't think they're ever actually gonna call them like Sandman or Hydro Man or Molten Man or Electro or anything like that. They might, I don't know. But Mysterio might, like, I don't know. But I'm curious if they're going to, well, not so much like Molten Man or Hydro Man or even Sandman, but like Electro is one of Spider-Man's core villains. So, like, this might be the only way he's introduced into the main Marvel universe. And after the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I kind of get them not wanting to have him be an actual character. I get it. Like, I didn't hate Amazing Spider-Man 2 as much as everyone else, but it was a really bad movie. I mean, just really bad. There were good parts in it. Like, the first fight with Electro, that was fucking amazing, but like, just like, the movie as a whole was a fucking train wreck. So I get them not wanting to use Electro as he's known, like, as an actual character in this incarnation of Spider-Man. So yeah, this might just be the MCU version of Electro. That's okay. Like, other than that, you know, and oh yeah, in case you didn't know, Donald Glover from Homecoming, that was Prowler. I'm not even kidding. That was the MCU version of Prowler. I just find that hilarious. I don't know why. But other than the whole reinvention of four iconic Spider-Man villains, there was some interesting stuff in here. Nick Fury actually introduced himself to Spider-Man for the first time by shooting Ned in the neck with a knockout dart, because he's Nick fucking Fury. So yeah, Nick Fury is apparently coming into contact with Spider-Man for some reason, probably to so he can deal with Mysterio. But it's like, I'd assume that's the deal, but you don't really know with Fury. I don't think he's like. Well, it could be like the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon where he's like giving Peter the chance to train with Shield, and I guess I'd be okay with that. But it's like, it also kind of just takes away from the message of the first movie. It was like, there's a reason it's called Homecoming. It's kind of establishing Peter as a homespun hero, just like a man of the people type thing. And this trailer actually even, like, there's actually two trailers, which is weird, but one is slightly longer, and it has Peter, like, Aunt May knows that Peter is Spider-Man. Like, they just ripped that Band-Aid right the fuck off at the end of the first movie. So Peter knows. So Aunt May knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and she's helping him, like having him do like charity events and like going to charity events and stuff like that. And what's funny is that Happy Hogan is still part of this for some reason, and I think Happy and Aunt May are gonna be a thing, which is fucking hilarious. And just the interaction between Happy and May, while Peter's just standing in between them, and you can just say, like, there's something going on, and you can just kind of see it in his face, like, there's something going on, and I don't want it to happen. So that's funny. And that's the whole thing with Spider-Man, that he's a homespun hero. He needs to stay close to the streets and everything like that, and that's why and I think that's why they're gonna have that charity auction scene at the beginning of the movie. And even has Flash Thompson. I still don't know why he's like this, but it was not a good move. Like, of all the things in Homecoming that it did right, the one massive misstep was going in this direction with Flash Thompson. It does not fucking work. But it's whatever. Like, they at least kept Flash's the Flash's in adoration for Spider-Man and his complete hatred of Peter. Like they have that. It's like when they're watching Mysterio fighting Hydro Man, you know, the one guy says, you know, it's like Thor and Iron Man together. And Flash is like, well, he's still no Spider-Man. And MJ is like, why are you so into Spider-Man? And he rattles off, you know, he's cool, he does for the neighborhood and all that stuff. And then he's like, hey, dickhead, well, when Peter comes in, like, they at least got that part of his character right. And that's kind of cool, because it does kind of show that it's always been Flash's admiration of Spider-Man that's kind of shown that he isn't just a dumb jock asshole, or in this case, just an asshole because he isn't a jock. But I've always kind of liked that part of Flash Thompson's character, and it's cool that they're bringing that part in. This was really good. This was the highlight of my fucking day, and it's only like it's not even noon. So that was surprising, and this was a great surprise. I'm so glad it happened. I'm so glad I got to see it. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with this. What they're going to do with Mysterio, his character. Like, how is he making these 4 villains? What's he planning to do? I mean, we all know what he's planning to do with it. He's gonna try and make himself look like a hero. But like, why is he doing it? Why isn't he just why isn't he doing what he usually does? Use his special effects to commit crimes and stuff like that. There's so much in this movie I can already tell, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. So yeah, it's happening in July. It's a hell of a wait, but it's gonna be fucking. I can already tell it's gonna be fucking worth it. So yeah, it's Might No Mercy, Mad Hatter. I'll see y'all later.